You're listening to the Blue 82 Podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Nicholas, and this is episode 10 of the Blue 82 Podcast. We have a lot to talk about today. Some exciting stuff happened. Another good week of football. I think this was, in my opinion, a little bit better week than most. But with that being said, I just want to say we appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Nick, you got anything?
Just like you always say, shout out to everyone that actually watches, anyone that likes, subscribes, comments, says anything. Pretty much it.
Alright, I woke up a couple hours ago, Nick, and I looked through my phone, and there was just bukus of, notifications I had from all this NFL stuff, so we'll try to get through a lot of these injuries and big news. I guess I'll just start from the get-go. Just real quick, it looks like I'm hearing that, I know we heard before, but it sounds like Dak is definitely going to play this week, just as early rumors. So it looks like he's going to be coming back from his injury. What else we got? Looks like the big news that we have today, probably the headline will be Robbie Anderson getting traded to the Arizona Cardinals. You said he got traded for a sixth and a seventh, I believe it was. So
correct. 2024 sixth,
yeah.
2025 seventh.
2025 seventh.
2024.
Okay.
Sixth, and then 2025 seventh. Yeah.
Gotcha. So 2 draft picks for Robbie Anderson. That kind of comes on the edge of, this week he got into an argument on the sidelines with the Panthers interim head coach.
It was a wide receiver coach, I think, and then the
wide receiver coach and then the head coach after. They ended up I guess they were saying they ejected him from the game. His own team did. I think they just sent him to the fucking locker room, told him to go home. But I don't know if you can physically actually eject a player from a game. But I don't know. But that's also coming on the heels of Marquise Brown had an injury, and from early reports of what I've seen, they're acting like he's probably going to be out for the season. So Cardinals are just trying to get some more wide receiver help there. Marquise Brown is undergoing further tests today, so we don't really know for sure, but it's sounding like it's a season-ending injury for Marquise Brown, which sucks because he was having a pretty solid year. Also, in that same building, DeAndre Hopkins, some more news coming out of there. He comes back this week, which everybody knew was coming, but just make sure y'all don't forget about the boy Hopkins, Another news I saw was, and this might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but Jack Easterby got fired. He was the VP for the Texans or some position like that. He was a part of helping Bill O'Brien be the quote-unquote GM back when Bill O'Brien was here. So I put a lot of he was involved in a lot of the bad moves that happened during that time in the Texans organization, but it sounds like they fired him today, so that's a good sign. Sounds like the head coach and the GM and everything are still intact, and they're keeping them because I think they're doing a good job for what they can right now. As far as any other injuries or news I'm seeing, you got any off the top of your head, Nick?
For injuries or news?
Yeah, either one.
The Dolphins, third string quarterback, broke his thumb. I know that. I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. If he's gonna go on IR or whatever, but it don't look good. I'm trying to think of who else.
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz fractured his hand or finger, and he's gonna have surgery as well. I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, for
The
the
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah, they said
What's
he's gonna be out
the
for a
what's the
bit.
backup quarterback? He's probably gonna be starting, right?
Heineke.
Yeah,
Taylor
everyone wanted him
Heineke,
to start
baby.
anyway, so we'll have to see what happens there.
And I think I heard 6 to 8 weeks for Wentz. So Heineke's got himself a starting job for quite a bit. So maybe he can. He's done it before, and I'm not. He's not the greatest in my opinion, but he can win a couple games here and there. So who knows? Maybe he can come out and do a little bit better than Carson Wentz. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm able to win a game or two. Depends who they play, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where was the I lost the thing. Going to ESPN real quick for the injuries. Oh, it's right there. I missed it. Oh, go back.
Also, just real quick, I don't know if it was news last time whenever we filmed the podcast last week, but the Panthers are fielding trade offers and they're listening to trade offers from teams for Christian McCaffrey. So in the coming weeks, we might have a potential trade. Christian McCaffrey going somewhere. We might not. Not totally sure yet. I guess if they get the right deal, then they're gonna do it. But they are listening to trade offers for Christian McCaffrey, which would be a big help to a lot of people. What?
I didn't even see this, but Rashad Bateman was out.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman's been out for 2 weeks with a foot injury. I think
He said he was close to playing here,
Yeah.
but he didn't play.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, John Harbaugh, I think, came out today and said that he's hopeful that he's going to play or close to getting back. But yeah, he didn't play
Says
again.
here, interim coach Steve Wilkes expects Darnold to come off injury reserve and practice this week, though he's unsure if Darnold can get up to speed quickly enough to face the Buccaneers on Sunday.
Okay.
So, not sure if he's going to start again or PJ Walker's going to start or they're going to go back.
I'm also seeing that Andy Dalton was a limited participant in Monday's practice report due to a back injury. And I'm also seeing that Chris Olave was not on the injury report, suggesting he's good to go for Thursday against the Cardinals, which he was out this week for
just depends. He's in
concussion
protocols.
Well, I think from what I heard,
it's a little weird because it seems like if you don't have a concussion, it just takes you can't get out of it. You have to still go for all the things anyway.
They're just being a lot more strict about it, which I understand.
Because that's what happened with Teddy and Tua. It really took them last minute till they got out.
I think from what I heard last week was he was on the last step, and I want to say that they said that he cleared it, but they still were holding him. I'm not for sure on that, but I would think the fact that he's not on the injury report would mean he cleared the concussion protocol. But we'll have to wait and see tomorrow for sure, because they play on Thursday, so they'll have to figure out something quick with him.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround game.
Yeah.
It says here, Justin Fields indicated that he re-aggravated an injury to his left non-throwing shoulder.
Okay.
That's not good.
Nope.
Man's getting killed out there.
Down bad. I think
see
that's all I got so far.
I'm just going for all the teams real quick to see if there's anyone else. Denzel Ward was still out. Myles Garrett, it says they expect to play next week. Nice. He left the Sunday's contest early with a shoulder injury. Dak Prescott, he should probably be back, right? I think.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. He was going to be back this week. I think he did a press conference after their loss last night, and they were asking him if he's playing. He was like, "Yeah, I'll be back this week." So they can expect that, which I think that's the timeline they had with Dak from the get go. They were kind of shooting for him to come back after the game against the Eagles. I saw here Adam Schefter tweeted, veteran free agent Deshaun Jackson is scheduled to visit the Ravens on Tuesday. At 35, Jackson still wants to continue playing. So I heard that he came out last week and said that he's not retired. He's still a free agent.
Yeah, I saw that he wanted to come back for the
Eagles potentially.
Eagles, yeah.
He said he had a couple teams in mind, but he said he would not mind coming back for the Eagles at all either. So Ravens need help at wide receivers, so that could be
That is true.
another deep shot for Lamar Jackson, which they need to figure that out. But we'll break that down once we get into the games.
Honestly, Monday night here, it says Keenan Allen is questionable or doubtful,
Mm-hmm.
so he might not even play again. That's tonight's game.
Yeah.
Oh, well, did you talk about Cam Akers?
Oh, I did not. Duh.
Yeah, Cam Akers apparently he's gonna be out, and definitely until he's traded.
Yeah, I think they're
It's
trying
pretty
to
much
move him.
like it's either trade or bust at that point with that guy's
I saw somebody say that the Panthers could potentially work out a deal for that. They trade CMC for Cam Akers, and then the Panthers add in like a third round or something like that to make the trade for the Rams, just because you know how the Rams, they're notorious for giving away all their draft picks. So, if I was CMC, I wouldn't want to go to the Rams right now, just because their O-line is in shambles and they're just in shambles to begin with. But I don't know if CMC really has a choice in this situation.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, CMC is basically gonna get traded to wherever someone wants them.
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna happen because there's gonna be a low market for him to begin with because of the contract he's already on, and the fact that he's already been as injured as he has been.
Yeah. I think some people were saying, I was hearing the Bills potentially, the Chiefs could be a long shot.
From what I saw, a sports gambling site had it as the Bills, the Dolphins, and then I'm not even sure what the third team was.
Yeah, I also heard the Eagles somewhere, which I don't really know if the Eagles need him. Like, would it be lit? Awesome, but
I don't think they need him. No.
Yeah, they don't need him. They got 2-3 good little running backs.
It says here Michael Thomas. They don't expect him to play Thursday night against the Cardinals.
Dude, I don't know what that guy's dealing with. Last 3 seasons, like, he needs to just call it after this season, because the last 3 seasons, the man has just played like 3 games.
Like, yeah, he came back like he was ready to go, and then bam.
Yeah, plays 1 week, has a good week, plays another week, has a pretty good week, and then came out and has an injury again. Like, and he's been dealing with this injury since. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening with that. That's all I got for news and injuries, though.
Yeah, I got like 4 teams. I'm just gonna check it real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
I saw the Steelers before they even played that game. They had nobody playing in the secondary.
And then the fact, yeah, it's just crazy.
Like, so many people were out.
Yeah. Have they came out and figured out what Kenny Pickett, if he's fine, or he came out with a concussion, right? I think.
I have no idea. Did he? Where is it? I just went over them. Kenny Pickett. Pickett left Sunday's matchup against Tampa Bay in the second half due to an undisclosed injury.
Okay,
that was yesterday, so I don't know if anything's been updated.
That'll be something to keep an eye on. We don't know what's happening with that, but Trubisky came in and did decent. Like we've said all along, I think that right now they're both probably on the same like caliber of player. I think Pickett has a little bit more upside, just because he's younger and we really don't know what he can turn into yet. But yeah, that's all we got for injuries and news. Just a couple things to keep an eye on. With that being said, real quick, before we break down the Monday night game for week 5, me and Nick are playing each other this week in fantasy, and all of my players have played, and I'm at like 92 points, or I'm at like 93 points, and Nick has 1 player left, and he's at like 92 points, and his player is Mike Williams. So I probably lost this week to Nick, but you know, I'll meet him in the playoffs again.
It's 93.5 to 92.22.
I need a Monday night miracle, as they call them.
They gave you a 4% chance to win.
Hey, 4, I'll take it. I was thinking like 1, but 4%, we'll take it all day. Oh, goodness, that's crazy.
All right, I'm ready to break down. This is week 5, you said? This is week 5 on, right?
Yeah, the week 5 Monday night game.
All right, let's get into it.
Raiders at the Chiefs. This was a Quite a close
game.
game.
Honestly.
This was a good game to watch. We haven't had a whole lot of good primetime games recently. This was definitely a good one. I enjoyed watching this game. Chiefs ended up squeaking it out against the Raiders. Raiders had a chance to win, but couldn't quite get it together. They had that route at the end where Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow like crossed each other.
Yeah,
and,
they would have ran into each other.
Just miscommunicated. Don't quite know what happened with that, but it almost looked like Carr was going for a deep shot with Devontae, and he might have had that because they've been hitting that all night. You know what I mean? So if that didn't happen, who knows what happens. But all in all, a good game. Chiefs squeaked it out. Yeah.
Devontae pushed over a camera guy.
Yeah, Devontae.
Oh, that's actually
we
news.
didn't talk about
I'm thinking about it. He might be suspended for that. I don't know. They said that they're looking at potential discipline, but because the fact that they were on a bye week this week, so they weren't gonna do anything until there wasn't like a rush to do anything.
I saw that, and then I saw something else come out a little bit later, whether it was a day or two later. They came out and said that. I think the NFL came out and said that they weren't going to do anything until they figured out what happened with like the legal actions. Yeah, so like if he actually gets charged or you know what I mean, and like that's all gets taken care of, then I think they're going to come out. They want to
see how it plays out in court kind of until they do
exactly.
That makes sense.
So as of right now, he's still good to go, still playing. We might find out later in this week if they decide to do something, but right now, just in the early stages, that's what we're hearing. But that was crazy to see. Me and Nick talked about that a little bit the other day. That's just something that just doesn't need to happen. Like, I get you're mad. Y'all had miscommunication. You didn't win the game. Like, I get you're upset, but it's 2022 at the end of the day. You know how fucking cameras are all over you, especially as a National Football League. Like, you know how it is. Everything is just under the microscope. You cannot be doing things like that. And I think it would have been better if, like, let's say Devontae pushed him, right, out of anger, pissed off, mad, right? I think if Devontae would have turned around and helped the guy up and picked him up and been like, my bad, dude, like, it wouldn't even have been a big deal. Like, you would have still got to take your anger out. You wouldn't be dealing with all this fucking shit show afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, I think you just got to show some remorse at that situation.
There's just no need for that.
Yeah, no, not at all. 100%.
This guy's just doing his job, like.
Yeah. Just running around fucking bullying other people because you're mad at the world. Like, come on, dude. It's crazy. But with that being said, moving on to week 6, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, my opinion was a pretty good week of football. A couple upsets, a couple good games. You know what I mean? I was watching Red Zone yesterday, and I swear, dude, within like 10 minutes, there was like 3 games where like 28 total points was already scored, and I was like, dude, what is happening? Like, the Falcons game, they put up points quick. The 49ers game, points were up quick. Like, it just seemed like a lot of scoring was happening, which, as a fan, watching the game is fun to see. Starting off with the Thursday night game. These Thursday night games have been atrocious, Nick. Like, thank God I work Thursday nights, and I literally only watched the second half, but these games have just been horrendous, man. This one, Bears had a chance. I don't know if you saw the play. The Darnell Mooney caught the ball on like the goal line, or I don't know if they said it was a catch at the end of the day, but like they had a chance to score right at the end. Ran out of time, couldn't complete it, but Commanders squeaked that one out. Just an ugly game altogether. Let's see who we got next. 49ers.
I was gonna say real quick.
Go ahead.
Was the Justin Fields, like, he had a lot of missed throws, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the one where he overthrew the dude in the end zone, the tight end.
Yeah, that was
There's
bad.
another one where, I don't know if you remember it, but he threw it deep, and he had like the crossing route underneath. It was a 3rd down play. They had the guy wide open across the middle of the field, just running right in front of him, basically, for an easy pass or a 1st down, and he threw it deep to Mooney, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. Quarterbacks miss throws. Like Lamar the other day in a primetime game against the Bengals missed like 2 or 3 throws. Like, I get it happens, but as a young guy, I feel like just to solidify yourself in the NFL, like, you got to hit these throws. You know what I mean? I mean, even as a...
You can't have missed throws.
Yeah, you just can't have missed throws, period, because...
They're just going to look bad on you.
Missed opportunities, just all together.
That's just all I remember from that game.
Yeah, no, it's not a memorable game at all. So I don't blame you. Next, starting the Sunday slate games, we had the 49ers at the Falcons, which coming into this game, a lot of people were like, 49ers are the real deal. Their defense is killing it. Like, they're running the ball, yada, yada, yada. Falcons came in today and put it on them. I think the 49ers were missing a couple pieces on defense, so I think Nick Bosa was out. That's a big star that helps their D line. But
the 49ers are missing like everyone.
Yeah. But the Falcons are just, I mean, we've said it all year, like, they're kind of surprising us a bit. They're squeaking out some games that you wouldn't think they would squeak out. They're close in a lot of these games, so I think I said this before. I wouldn't be too surprised if they won the division somehow. Like, I know it sounds like a long shot being in the division with the Buccaneers, but the way they're playing this year so far, like, I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see what happens with that. I think the 49ers will be fine. They get a couple pieces back. They'll be chilling.
I hope not.
You say you hope not?
Yeah.
Why?
Not. I just mean that just because we had their first round pick.
Oh, the Dolphins do? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, this was one of the games that I swear was like 14-14 off the get-go. Or 14-7, something pretty quick. But the Falcons are starting to run the ball a lot more, which is surprising. I guess because they don't have a whole lot of wide receiver weapons, but I mean, they got Drake London and Kyle Pitts. You'd think they'd be kind of doing a little bit of both, but it seems like every time I see a play on the Falcons game on Red Zone or something, it's just they're running the ball for 4, 5, 6 yards. So maybe they're kind of figuring out their identity here. You got anything on that game?
I'm ready to go. No.
Okay. All right.
That was honestly an upset, though.
No, it definitely was an upset. A lot of people were not expecting that. I think we both picked the 49ers, if I believe. Yeah,
yep.
We did. So, next we got the Patriots at the Browns, which we both picked the Browns. I said it last week, Nick. Are we seeing a Bailey Zappi, like, win the starting job here? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, the Browns not looking good, man. The first, like, 4 games of the season.
I just want to say something real quick about Bailey Zappi. I just know a lot of people are going to compare it to, like, the Dolphins situation. Like, oh, you go from, like, 3 quarterbacks to 2. Like, you should be able to win games. But, like, the thing is, like, he plays with Bill Belichick versus a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between a fucking Hall of Fame GOAT coach to, like, someone that's really just doing it for the first time. Like,
yeah. No, 100%.
You're not every team is going to be like Bill Belichick. If you take away Josh Allen from the Bills, they're not going to probably win. Like, they're not going to have a winning record. You take away Pat Mahomes, they're not going to have a win. You know what I mean? Like,
and not that you're comparing Tua to any of those guys, but just...
it's just like the situations are just so different. Yeah. It's like... the Patriots are literally the Patriots for a reason. And they're literally... Like, whenever you try and compare your team, like, oh, I want to be the Patriots, like, it's just never going to happen. They're an anomaly. Like, what they do is just wild.
Yeah. It just boils down to, like you said, the coaching. Bill Belichick, at the end of the day, just always has an answer for the offense. I mean, the Browns came into this game running the ball all over the fucking place. And I think Nick Chubb was held to, like, 50, 60 yards on the ground.
Yeah, he did absolutely nothing pretty much.
Yeah, so the Patriots, just every single time they play... I mean, same thing last week. They played the Lions, the leading scorer in the league, and then they came out and dropped a fucking donut. Like, the Patriots with Bill Belichick and their defense just always has the perfect game plan against these teams to take away what they like doing. So it helps the quarterback.
What's so wild is, like, you would think they'd do it like 1 or 2 times a season. It's like every game pretty much. Game. Like they take away your best player and make you have to win somehow or some other way, and it's so crazy. It's like, how are you that consistently good at it? Like, I don't understand.
What's crazy to me,
literally the craziest thing.
Yeah. What's even crazier if you think about it, could you imagine if they had, like, let's say, for instance, an offensive roster like the Chiefs, the Bills, or somebody like that? Could you imagine what they would be able to do to teams? I mean, they're coming up with game plans with
I mean,
like
how many times they
nobody's
won a Super Bowl? Like that's what
like
happens when they have Tom Brady.
like nobody's on their rosters ever. I feel like that's like this star-studded, amazing play. Like they got good guys. Don't get me wrong. Some of them are stars, yes, but like none of these like super like top 5, top 10 guys. If you take away Brady, like yeah, the GOAT. But like none of these top 10, top 5, like really good players on the team. And they still figure out a way to win. Like you can almost never count the Patriots out. Like I was for a bit with no Tom Brady, but now it's gotten to the point where it's like, dude, they just do it every week. They, like you said, they take away their best player, their best aspect of their game, and they just stop it every time.
It's like even with a weak team, like they're finding ways to win, and it's like how? Like I don't understand. They should not be winning these games, and yet they're winning them. Like
not at all.
It's the craziest thing to me.
On the other side of the ball, the Browns are in shambles, man. We've said this before. If they want to be competitive before Watson gets back, they need to be somewhere around 500. Right now, they're not looking like that's going to be possible. There's a lot of these games that are close to winning, like not necessarily this one, but like their previous games they've been close to winning and they didn't win them. Like those are going to come back to haunt them. Now they're sitting at 2-4, so not looking very good. They got a good team, but they're just not figuring out ways to win.
What week does he come back? Like week 10, 11?
He's suspended 11 games. So the way it works out is week 12 he would technically come back, but they have a bye week 12, so he comes back week 13.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
So I'm saying, like at that point, it's like if they're not like not even close to 500, the season's over. Like
no, 100%. Yeah, it's over.
You have to be around like 500, otherwise he's just playing just to fucking get time in with the team, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely play him just to get him back in the rhythm because he hasn't played in a year. Oh
yeah, you got to get the rust. You can't have him sitting on the bench and not play him, and then he comes in next year, still hasn't played in like 3 years at that point.
What's funny is my dad asked me, he was like, genuine question, because he knows I'm like a big Watson fan when it comes to on the football field things, right?
Yeah.
He knows I'm a big Watson fan, so he was like, really, Craig, like, do you think Watson's going to be good when he comes back? And I was like, here's the thing about it. I said, the guy hasn't played in a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it is. Do I think he's going to be good in the 6 games that he comes back this year? I think he'll be decent.
Probably not.
I don't think he's going to be the greatest. I think he'll like essentially be like Jacoby Brissett. Like he'll probably have some throws that are errant. He'll have some bad reads, some bad plays. Like I'm not saying he's going to come out the last 6 weeks of the season and light it the fuck up, but if he comes out the last 6 weeks of the season, gets some time under his belt, gets back to playing again, then he gets the off season, the preseason, and next year. I think by next year he'll be in a good place. I think he's definitely missed a lot of time, and it's going to hurt him at the end of the day. So it's going to involve a lot of just patience in his mind and getting back used to things. But I think he'll be fine next year. But we'll see what happens with it. But shout out to the Patriots. They figure out a way to win as always. Sitting at 3-3, a lot of people probably counted them out this year, even though they made the playoffs last year. I know I counted them out. I still say they're fucking dog shit all the time. Just because I'm like the biggest Patriots hater and always have been, and I won't deny that ever. But shout out to them. They figured it out.
To be fair, though, it's only we're going into week 7 now, so we'll have to see what really happens. Because I feel like a lot of these games, like the first 5 weeks, like that's where like you kind of figure out who you are and how you win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then after that, that's where like teams start to separate themselves. Like the really good teams just get on that roll. They start clicking on everything. Like they're just boom, boom, boom. And right now, like they're finding ways to win, but who knows? At the end of the year, maybe look back and they only have 3 wins at the end of the year. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, but with that said, I'll still give them credit. Like they're 3-3, they're finding ways to win. So hopefully they can keep it going. Honestly.
Yeah. Next we got probably one of the biggest upsets this week. The Jets at the Packers. I think I asked you this last week, Nick. I said, are the Packers contenders or pretenders? And I think we both said pretenders. And it sure as hell looking like it. They just look bad on the offensive side of the ball. And not to not give credit to the Jets defense because they played a hell of a fucking game. Their young players are finally coming out and looking like they're actually going to be good. You know what I mean? They're still young, so they're figuring it out. But a lot of their young guys are figuring it out, and their defense is starting to look good. A lot of the time, like the Packers, Aaron Rodgers was literally under rest a lot of that game, in my opinion. But the Packers just do not look good on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion. Tyler, who we had on the podcast, the Jets fan, a few weeks back, he gave me this pretty cool stat that I didn't know about. The Packers, under head coach Matt LaFleur, are 10-0 after a loss coming into this week. And you realize they lost against the Giants last week in London, and then they came out and lost against the Jets this week again. So back-to-back losses has never happened under Matt LaFleur. So just, I know that's one of those little cheeky random stats, but just some pretty crazy stat. But Jets played a good game. Zach Wilson, I don't think did much, but he didn't have to do much. I want to say he
had like 100 yards.
I think he had like 100 yards, yeah. They ran the fuck out of the ball.
It was basically like a game managing, like you didn't have to do anything type of thing.
Yeah.
It was like
and I think
110 yards, 10 for 18.
Yeah. And I think that's going to end up
Breece Hall had over 116 yards. Like.
Yeah. And I think that's going to end up being what Zach Wilson has to be, in my opinion. And if you think about it, with Robert Saleh as the head coach, like that's a defensive coach. He's going to want to control the game. He's going to want to do good on defense, run the ball, waste some time, get his defense back out there when they come out, do good against the offense again. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be the scheme that we're seeing for Zach Wilson, and I think he'll be fine in that. You know what I mean? I don't know if Zach Wilson is the guy to come out and be a Pat Mahomes and throw 40 times a game and win on the game. Like I don't see that happening yet, but you still don't know with him. But shout out to the Jets. They fucking put a hurting on the Packers. Packers fans are probably freaking out.
To your thing, I agree that he's probably going to be that type of quarterback because of who he's with. But at the end of the day, you don't take a second overall pick quarterback to just be a fucking game manager.
No, I feel that.
And that's where he'll get labeled a bust, and maybe that'll be unfair to him, or maybe it won't. But at the end of the day, he will be considered a bust because you literally were the second overall pick, and you were just basically out there just dinking and dunking and handing the ball off. Like, no matter what, unless you're Pat Mahomes or doing something, like you're not going to be considered good or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And it may be unfair to him, but at the end of the day, that's what he's going to get labeled as if they stick him in this type of system, which I probably would assume they would.
Yeah. It's looking likely right now.
Just because that, like you said, that's literally the generic route for defensive.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. That's how they want to
basically just run the ball, drain the clock, and then your defense goes out there, stops them or holds them field goal. Boom, your offense goes out there, punches it in with a fucking running play. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, 100%.
It's so vanilla and so boring, but that's just how.
It's how defensive coaches like to play the game. Yeah.
They're just like super old school basic. Like.
Yeah, but I mean, with that being said, credit to the Jets though. Again, like back-to-back weeks they've won. They're sitting at 4-2, which nobody probably saw at all. Again, I just want to say their defense is looking really nice. In my opinion, like Sauce Gardner is going to be that fucking guy. Like I think he's so
back-to-back
good.
weeks they held them under like 17 points. I think.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
the Dolphins got 17, 19, whatever it was, and then the Packers are at 10.
Yeah, so
like that to me is like that's great defense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you can hold someone underneath 20 points in this game, like yep.
Yeah, because and especially like with Breece Hall on the other side of the ball starting to get his footing, he's starting to run the ball more. Their O-line is getting a little bit better. So yeah, the Jets are looking pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I'm not saying they're the best in the league, but I'd like to see it a couple more weeks. I mean, beating the Packers is a big deal. So definitely a big upset this week. I think we got one or two more upsets to talk about that we'll get to later. But that's definitely one of the big ones.
Another one's right here. In my opinion, the Colts, honestly, it's not an upset, I guess, but because of like the talent on the team, but like the way they've been playing this year is an upset in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
They've been dead.
I just don't like
fucking dead.
Real quick, I just don't like to say that these division games are upsets because, in my opinion, anybody in division games has a chance. Yeah. But what were you saying?
Like I was just saying, like the Colts have been dead. Like the way this team looked is just like not good. Like the last time I think they played, they only scored. They didn't even score actually. It was 0 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 24-0 last couple weeks ago when the Jags played the Colts.
The Colts, honestly, to me, it's like they're now 3-2-1. Like they're starting to get it maybe going, but They really need to hope that Jonathan Taylor comes back and then they can get him going because that would honestly really help them out. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
but
think
you say that though, but their little rookie third string running back had like he was killing it. The dude, he had like 60. He didn't have a whole lot of rushing yards, but they utilized the fuck out of him in the passing game. I think he had like 40, 60 rushing
I'm
yards.
just looking at the
isn't
stats
great.
right now. Look at the stats right now. Matt Ryan almost threw 60 times.
No, I know. I did see that.
Like 58 attempts.
What do we say all the time? When you throw that much, you typically lose? Yeah, no. That's crazy.
Because hold on, let me look at the other weeks because I know it's up there. We've been talking about it like every week.
Every week.
And it's insane. Where is it? The week before that, 41 times.
Yeah.
I think there's another one too where he threw, wasn't it
Like
45
50 or
maybe?
something, yeah. It's a couple weeks
Against
ago.
the Titans. The Titans he threw 37. Where are they? Week 3. Who did they play week 3? The Chiefs. He threw it 37 times. So he's basically over, what, 37 attempts a game now?
Yeah.
Almost, I would assume. Like, what's week 1 and week 2?
He's averaging close to 40 a game. Or not averaging, but like
30.
Yeah. Averaging probably
So
about
he's got to be
30 a
almost
game.
at like 40 attempts a game.
Yeah.
Because what did he throw week 1? 50, yeah. So
50,
he's got to be
yeah.
at like 40 attempts a game. Like that, to me, is not how you're going to win with that team. Consistently, at
No,
least.
you're 100% right. They need to get their run game going, whether it's Jonathan Taylor, their backup, like they just need
I
to
hope
figure
they
that
got
out.
his Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor and you got the fucking MVP type player.
No,
You
100%.
better be handing him the fucking ball.
Um,
Why can't Jonathan Taylor run the ball 60 times a game? Like,
I will say,
Jesus.
I was watching this game because they were cutting to it a lot in red zone during the end and during everything. Because I mean, 34-27 in red zone, you're going to end up going to that game a lot of scores. I feel bad for Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, because he played a pretty good game. Like 27 points, you'd like to think you're winning in the NFL. You know what I mean? The defense just couldn't fucking hang on, man. Like I
saw that. Was it a Hasty?
Jermichael
The running
Hasty
back?
had the third string running back. Meanwhile, just a real quick side note. I have on my big fantasy league, which I made a bad trade, and I told this to Nick earlier, and I regret it, but it's part of fantasy, right? But I ended up with 2 Jaguar running backs on my fucking roster, and tell me why the only Jaguar running back that got a touchdown this week was the fucking third string, and it was a 61-yard touchdown run. Like, why are we not giving the ball? You have 2 great running backs, in my opinion, out of James Robinson and Travis Etienne Jr. Like, that in my opinion, that's a good 1-2 punch, like, receiving style type back, a good quote-unquote power back, I guess. Like, Robinson probably is not that much of a power back, but he's a little bit bigger than Etienne. But a good 1-2 punch. Like, why are you not giving those 2 the ball all the time when you're running the ball? Like, why is the third string guy in there? Please tell me why. But just a little rant right there. But back to what I was saying. I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence. Like, he played a good game. The Jags defense
He
just
only
couldn't
missed
hold
2
on at the
passes.
end. Yeah, the dude played great.
It was 20 for 22.
Dude played great. No mistakes. Like, a great game you want to see out of a first overall pick. And he's been doing, like, he's had a few games here and there this season. He's still figuring it out, but he's getting there. You know what I mean? And it just sucks to see for him, but the Colts figured it out.
From
But
what
like-
I want to see out of Justin Fields is what I'm seeing out of Trevor Lawrence this season.
Yeah, just making that progress little by little, getting there.
Like,
you know what I mean?
he may not be perfect, but he's getting better.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas, like, Justin Fields, I'm still seeing a lost quarterback. Like, he does not do anything to me that, like, I'm going, okay, like, we can work on this. You can do this. You know what I mean?
You're not seeing those moments where
I'm not
you're like,
saying,
okay.
like, I'm going to commit to you for the next
Yeah.
5 fucking years. Like,
And you're also not seeing those moments where you're like, okay, I don't mind where I drafted you because you're showing us what you can do. Like, Trevor Lawrence is getting... Now, I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is showing what a first overall draft pick should be like, but like you said, he's
You can
showing
see the
those
progress,
moments. You
though.
can see
You
the
can see
progress. He's getting there. And
he ain't perfect, but he's definitely got that base that he can go, okay, we
Yeah.
can do this and we can move on.
And that's pretty good, too, because I don't know if y'all remember, but Nick has been, like, not that he's a hater of Trevor Lawrence, but he's been saying this whole time, like, Trevor Lawrence isn't that guy. So if he's coming out saying that you can see some progress, like, you know the guy's actually making progress. But Colts 3-2-1. We've been saying that we think the Jaguars are probably going to end up winning this division. And I think it's still
Looks
possible.
like it's going back. Well, because they're going back to the Colts.
we got a seesaw going over here in the AFC South, bro. I'm just trying to figure out when the Texans are going to come up on this seesaw.
I'm not gonna lie. We weren't wrong though, Craig, because we literally had it. At first, we had it in this was our preseason rankings. We had it as the Titans. I think it was the Titans, right? But we said the Colts could win it.
Yeah, I think we said the Titans, and we said it's going to be a fight all year between the Colts and the
Just
Titans.
like how we have with the I remember the Cowboys was another one that we said the Cowboys would probably win it.
Yeah.
But then we also kind of switched at the end, like almost like the Eagles could also probably win it as well.
100%.
And I think one more division was the North, the AFC North.
Yeah, the Bengals and the Ravens.
I think we were arguing about the Ravens and the Bengals.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say we're not wrong. We were just early, you know.
Yeah, just early. just a little slow start out of the Colts and the Titans. Titans had a bye this week, so we didn't get to see them play. So they've had a couple good back-to-back weeks. I was kind of excited to see if they can keep that going, but we'll have to wait till this upcoming week to figure it out. But Colts take down the Jags. Probably felt good considering they got shut out the first time they played. But Jags got some things to be excited about. You know what I mean? Colts, like you said, need to start running the ball with Jonathan Taylor. They need to get him back from injury.
They need to find a more balance. Like
58 times. You said 58 or 48?
58 this week.
Yeah, not gonna happen again, bro. Like, you can't win that way. I've been saying it all year. Like, I know this is a passing heavy league
unless
nowadays.
you're in a game where it's like the Chiefs and Bills game where they probably had like 30 attempts each or something like that. Like, you're just like going toe to toe scoring, then you're not gonna win those type of games.
No, it's just unlikely, man. Next we got the Vikings at the Dolphins.
This game honestly pretty much played out how I thought. Like,
I honestly expected it to be a little bit more of a blowout.
I thought Tua was going to play, but unfortunate. Just got out of the protocol at the end of the week, and without practice, they decided not to suit him up. But even more unfortunate that we have to go from a third-string quarterback back to the second-string quarterback. It's just fucking quarterback roulette over here.
It really is, bro. Like,
I think we played like 6 quarterbacks in 3 weeks or something like that. Like, like it's the same guys.
But like just rotating them back and forth.
It just can't be good for the mental state of the team and the players themselves, because it's like, am I starting? I'm not starting. I'm starting. Oh, I'm back in now.
Yeah.
But the biggest disappointment to me in this game was that the fact that this was a winnable game. Like, the Dolphins' defense, honestly, hasn't been great, I guess, statistically wise. But I think I see what people aren't seeing. I guess, like, I see the fucking team being good. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you watched the game. You watched the game from snap from kickoff to kneel down. That you watched the Dolphins game like that. Like, so if there's anybody in this podcast, like, I know there's only 2 of us, but if there's anybody that's going to know exactly what's going on with the Dolphins, it's going to be Nick. You know what I mean? He watches every week that they play. He watches every fucking snap of that game.
But I'm just, like, I don't know. A lot of people talk about the stats, but like sometimes stats are just so overrated. Like, the big thing is like we talk about all the time is what the points per game. Yeah. And the biggest thing to me is like our defense. Sure, statistical-wise, it isn't going to be great. Like, I can already tell you that because of how many yards they've given up to Josh Allen. Like, 400 yards they gave up to Josh Allen. But they only gave up 17 fucking points.
Yeah.
That, to me, is a win right there. I don't care if people are... Like, I don't know if that's just like the old-school mindset, but I don't care if you get 500 yards, 600 yards. But if I hold you to 15 fucking points and, like, I win the game, I don't care then. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, I've always seen, at least in the recent, like, we'll say the last 3 or 4 years... for the Dolphins' defense, in my opinion, has always been a turnover machine, a bend but don't break. Like, that's how I've always pictured the Dolphins' defense, and that's how they are. You know what I mean? They get turnovers when they need them a lot of the times because they got some stars that can make plays on the ball. And then they also have that mentality, like you said, bend, don't break. Like, if you're giving up 500 fucking yards a game, who gives a fuck, man? Guess what? You put up 10, 12, 17 points, like, that's good.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say because like this game, Like our defense kept us in the game the whole time when Skylar had to go out and then Teddy came back in and he wasn't playing as great. It took him probably like all the way to the fourth quarter before Teddy seemed to actually start to like
Lock
kind
it
of get in
in.
that rhythm,
Yeah.
which is like, in
Too
my
little
opinion,
too
I think
late.
that's fucking terrible. Like
Yeah.
an NFL veteran, former first round pick, and it takes you like literally a whole game to basically get warmed up. Like
Yeah.
that to me was embarrassing as fuck. But I don't know. Justin Jefferson honestly wasn't bad this game. He started getting his yards near kind of like the end of the game. A little bit. I think it was around maybe a halftime, like the halftime adjustments. They started getting them open a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
He
know.
ended up with
I don't
like
know if you
100
saw it,
yards,
but
right?
yeah, he didn't get a touchdown of him, but he got 100 yards. Like still had a good day, but um, a couple of plays like that I noticed that really stood out to me from Kevin O'Connell was like the way he gets them open sometimes. Because there was one where they used Adam Thielen as like a pick,
Okay.
and like it ended up like he didn't like he obviously was like if you push him whatever you get a penalty,
Yeah.
but Thielen kind of like just stopped whatever, and Xavier Howard had to go around him, and like boom, Justin Jefferson's just running
Yeah.
down the sideline wide open. You know what I mean? Like it's
Is
like
it
that's
is
just
it
nice.
reminiscent of Cooper Kupp and the Rams last year?
Probably
Yeah.
I didn't really fuck with the Rams last year,
Well,
so I
that
don't really
it's
know.
it's the
But
same OC. That's the only reason why I asked
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
because he's probably running the same plays that he used with Cooper Kupp, and that's what everybody was saying at the beginning of the year, that Jefferson's going
Yeah.
to be used like a Cooper Kupp.
It's just nice to see plays like that. Cause like that guy, like it wasn't even like a player getting open. Really, it's just like him
Good
scheming him open
designs,
type of
yeah,
thing.
100%.
And it's like that's what you want to see out of the Vikings
Hmm.
because there's just way too much talent on the team. Dalvin Cook honestly was getting pretty shut down until he had that big 50-yard run at the end of the game,
Yeah.
basically that set up a TD.
See, and that's another thing. Like, people will look at this, like you said. I just hate stats in sports in general. Like, yeah, they're cool to keep up with. I like talking about them because it brings up talking points. But like, if you genuinely think about like Nick's saying in that game, Dalvin Cook was getting shut the fuck down because in one of our group chats we have, one of our buddies, Nathan, hit us up and was like, I need Dalvin to start doing better and running the ball. And this was like the third quarter that he sent us this, right? So Dalvin was getting shut down, but I bet you if you at the end of the day, if you look at his stat line, he ended up with what, like 80 yards and a touchdown and
He had
some
77
receptions.
yards. So take away
Take
his
away
53-yard
60,
run.
53. Dude had 30 yards, like 20 yards.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
like 24 yards.
That's
nothing.
why that's why stats suck sometimes, because they just, you don't get the whole picture of what was going on. The guy broke out one run, and I know that a lot of times people are like, yeah, you keep feeding the rock, eventually you break one out. Like, yeah, of course you're going to. It happens, but if you want to do the stat line thing, like, you got to
You take away Justin Jefferson's 47-yard run, boom, he has 60 yards. Like,
yeah, so it's like, it's
that
the
to
same
me is
thing.
that's a great day for the defense. Like,
Mhm.
like you said though, I did expect it to be a better game for the Vikings, but like I said, I don't hate the Dolphins defense. Like a lot of people are hating it, like, oh, it's terrible, trash. But it's like we're also missing Byron Jones. He hasn't played all year. That's our cornerback number 2. Nick Needham went down with a Achilles injury. I think he's probably done for the year. I think
he's
they
done for the
said.
year, yeah.
So that's our slot corner gone. Cornerback 2 hasn't played all year. Cornerback 1, Xavier Howard, has like they said groins injury, so he must have 2 dicks or something. I don't know. Beaufort gone. Like, so I don't know. He's going through it, and then I forget what this guy's name is, but it's like Kate or something. They called him Darth. People were calling him Darth Vader in the Dolphins fan base, but I think he also got hurt too. He's been like a undrafted rookie, I think he was, or maybe he was a late pick, but I want to say he's undrafted. He also, I believe, was hurt. And then at one point we had to take off the bench Eric Rowe, who hasn't even played, and he ended up missing on one of the routes. Somehow Justin Jefferson was wide open. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But yeah, it's just been like, I think the big thing with the Dolphins is like the injuries. Like,
Yeah.
going from a starting quarterback to your second to your third string quarterback is not good in any.
And especially a starting quarterback that was making some progress this year, like, was on the up and up. You know what I mean? I said it
I think the
last
stat.
week.
Sorry, real quick. I'm just gonna say it real quick. I think there's a stat that we're either 11-1 or 11-0 with 2 as a quarterback, and with 2 over 0-7.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I will say I think the Dolphins will be fine. They get a little healthier. They're sitting at a good record at 3-3. Tua comes back this week. Hopefully they get back on the right page. I will say last thing about the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill is that motherfucking guy. Like, anybody
I was saying all day to my dad, I'm like, this guy was worth the fucking money.
Bro, there is so many people
like in every play he is like open.
Bro, in the preseason, in the fantasy draft preseason, like everything, there was so many people like, well, Tyreek's not going to produce like he did. He's got Tua. He's got to deal with Jalen Waddle. Yada, yada, yada. In my mind, I'm like, it's Tyreek fucking Hill, bro. Like, the dude is the fastest motherfucker in the league, essentially. Like, this guy is going to produce no matter where he goes. He's arguably probably a top 5 wide receiver. Like, the dude is disgusting. I just wanted to shout him out because I know there was a lot of hate going around. And not even so much hate, but more so doubt. Like, a lot of people were doubting Tyreek Hill, and I just did not see it at all. Like, I was one of those ones that was still completely high on Tyreek Hill. I essentially, in one of my fantasy leagues, I got him in like the late second, early third for Tyreek fucking Hill. Like, what are we doing, y'all? Y'all let me get Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill? What are you doing? Like, I don't get it. Last thing about that game, the Vikings, in my opinion, and so they have the one loss against the Eagles, right? They got blown out 24-7. If you look at all their other games, like against the Lions, the Dolphins, who'd they play last week? The Bears, like, every game's been a tough, close game, like, come down to the wire, they figure out how to win, like, and we said this last year, like, a lot of their games were close. If they could have just figured out how to win, they would have been in a good position. This year, they're figuring out how to win. But with that being said, like, that's still good, don't get me wrong. They're figuring out ways to win. With that being said, they still need to come out and be a little bit more explosive. Like, you got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, a good quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Like, there's no reason that some of these games should be close. You know what I mean? Like, that worries me a bit. I still think the Vikings are a favorite for the NFC North, especially with how the Packers are playing right now. But, like I said, I think they need to figure it out a little bit more and kind of start being a little bit more explosive. You know what I mean? You got the guys that can do that. So, I'm a little bit worried in that sense. Not worried too much, but just a little worried.
I was gonna say real quick, their defense, honestly, like we were talking about their defense. I think it was in the preseason. Would have been the dark horse. What was it? Dark horse winners and losers off season.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the stat is, but their defense last year was not very good in the points per game category.
Right.
But I remember I told you that they signed the Zadarius Smith from the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy is a fucking animal. I think he had like 2, maybe 3 sacks that game.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
So their defense, like I said, it looks better. It looks improved.
And I think that's what's helping them win these games.
Real quick, going back to the Tyreek Hill situation, not putting up numbers, he is first in the league in yards at 701.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd like to see
is none other than Jalen Waddle at 533.
Yeah. I'd like to see a couple more touchdowns out of Waddle, and that's partially coming from a fantasy owner, but hey, what can you do? But no, I mean, yeah, I just don't get it, Nick. I don't see where they got it.
Because I don't understand why, but it was just Tua, bro. Everyone hates Tua. Everyone says he sucks. He's so bad. He's like, if you watch Tua ever play a game, if you had literally no knowledge of NFL, and you just scrolled Twitter, and you would click on the Tua Tagovailoa topic, you would literally see so many people saying that he's shit, he's terrible, he's awful,
yeah.
awful, and you would have no knowledge of NFL at all, and then you go and watch him play, you'd be like, wow, this guy's this is the worst quarterback ever, okay, and then you go watch I don't know, Mitchell Trubisky or something, and you're how is he worse than this? You know what I mean? How can you say he's worse than that guy, or how can he's it's so weird to me, but I'm whatever, I don't even care. The stats are backing up this season. Tyreek Hill is literally the first best receiver in yards. Jalen Waddle's 5th, so it's they're obviously getting their yards. They're obviously getting their passes.
Dude's got 700 yards in 6 games. I know that's not unheard of, but at the end of the day, when it comes to running backs and receivers, a good game is a 100-yard game, right? So if you're telling me that he's averaging 115, 20 yards a game, that's crazy. 6 games, 700 yards, like that's nuts, man. You love to see that. Moving on to the Bengals and the Saints. I don't know if you saw beforehand. Joe Burrow showed up to the stadium in Jamar Chase's jersey. That was sick. It was game worn too. That shit was dirty as fuck. But Bengals came out. They actually were a little explosive. Kind of looked like the Bengals of old. The Saints have kind of been in shambles all year. They're sticking around in games, but can't quite close them out. I really feel like they're probably a good quarterback away from being a playoff contender. Like, I don't know. I don't think Andy Dalton's that guy. I don't think he's ever really been that guy. So I kind of want to get Jameis Winston back to see if they look any better and can squeak out some more games. But Bengals look good. Jamar Chase had a day. Joey B had a fucking day. I expected the Bengals to win this. Who did we both pick the Bengals?
Yeah,
we did.
I think so.
Okay. That was a pretty good game. This was another one of those games that, like, I swear within the first 10 minutes it was like 21-14. I was like, what the fuck is happening in this game?
I think we talked about the Saints before too, where how you were talking about like we think that they're a good team, but their quarterback play is just questionable.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you got Chris Olave now, like a rookie. He looks pretty nice. You got Kamara. I don't know. Michael Thomas, if he plays, I don't fucking know. And they got Taysom Hill, like the Swiss Army knife, weird tight end, quarterback, running back, flex combo. Like their team honestly isn't bad. It's just they got to figure out their quarterback situation after Drew Brees is retired now, and
they're still doing that roulette thing.
Yeah, they're playing quarterback roulette too now.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't understand why they don't give Taysom Hill a shot. Like
they did. He's not that good of a quarterback. Why do you think they use him as a Swiss Army knife, bro? Like, truthfully.
But that's the thing,
if he was a good quarterback, they wouldn't be using him the way he did. They would put him in a quarterback.
He hasn't really played, though. I feel like he's only played, like, a handful of games.
Yeah, but in those handful of games, he, like... let me see if I can pull it up.
So I'm just going to say, like, they're paying them fucking big money, so it's like... Are they really just going to keep paying him the money just to be a fucking tight end running back here and there? Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was last year or the year before, he had like a good 4 or 5 game stretch where he actually started. And I from what I remember, like, I don't think they were that good at all.
Like, on average, they're paying this guy fucking $10 million a year.
Yeah, he's definitely getting there. I mean, I don't disagree with you, though. Like, I would prefer them to actually give him a good, solid chance at a starting job and get him a couple more games. Because I think he's technically only started, like, 4 games as a starter. In 2020, I think he started 4 games. One game, he went 18 for 23, 233 yards, no touchdowns. Another game he went 9 for 16 with 78 yards, no touchdowns. Then he went 27 for 37 with 230 yards with 2 tutties. 28 for 38, 291 yards with 2 tutties. Like, he's done decent. I definitely think they do need to give him another shot, though, like you said.
It just, I don't know, it makes no sense. You're paying this guy $10 million a fucking year. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, no, you're right. 100% you're right.
Like, just, you're paying all that money just for him to pop off for one game and get, like,
3 tutties?
2 touchdowns, and then that's it. And then he disappears again for the rest of the year. Like, what's the point?
No, I hear you. I think their best shot is with either Jameis or Taysom. I think they're probably waiting for Jameis to get back from injury, let him play a few games and see how he does. But it does hurt because their whole wide receiver core is just chalked right now. I mean, they were missing their first 3 wide receivers on the roster this week, so that's never really going to be good. But if they get a couple of those dudes healthy, maybe we'll see. But yeah, you're right. If you're paying that guy that much, especially for his main position to technically be a quarterback, then you definitely need to give him a couple more shots.
Like, I just pulled up his stats here. Like, he had 8 TDs back in 2020. with 457 yards. 2020 had 5 TDs.
Is
He
this
had
passing?
374 yards. No, this is rushing.
Okay.
And then he had 267 yards, 5 TDs. Like, he has 5 TDs already this season.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you just gonna keep running them? Are you gonna fucking use them? Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, no,
Like, this
I get
season
it.
alone, he's averaging 10.3 yards a carry on 26 attempts.
Yeah, the dude had those 2 big rushes last week, I think it was, 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
Where
he had
the
3
3
TDs in one
touchdowns.
game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 touchdowns one game.
Yeah, this season alone, he's only throwing 5 passes.
Yeah. One of them's a touchdown.
Last season, he threw 78 for 134 for 58.2, not good. Almost 1,000 yards, 4 TDs, 5 interceptions. But then the year before that, like, he had 88 of 121 for 72.7 completion percentage, 928 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that year was the stats
Like,
I was
that's
looking
not
at.
bad, but it's like,
Yeah.
you're not really using the fucking guy.
No, 100%. Moving on to the Ravens and the Giants. This was another upset. I think this game, like, the Ravens are in shambles.
The Ravens can't close the game to
the Ravens
fucking
can't close a
save their
game to
life.
save their life, like you said. The
Lamar
Giants.
I literally texted. I said Lamar went from MVP, like unanimous MVP
Unanimous,
to
yeah.
fucking toilet bowl. Like, see
Yeah.
ya.
I think they'll be fine at the end of the day, hopefully. But they're just losing these games that they should not be losing. They were up against the Dolphins, lost that game. Up against the Bills, lost that game. Up 20-10 against the Giants, lost this game. But on the other side of the ball, the Giants, man, Brian Daboll is doing something special with this team. Like, they just keep fighting. They're resilient. They keep coming out, finding ways to win, man. Like, again, this is another team like the Jets. Nobody expected them to start this season 5-1. And it's just crazy to me. Like you said the other week, Giants fans didn't even expect the Giants to start off this good. And they're biased as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, Brian Daboll is doing great. You just love to see it. You love to see.
Saquon Barkley is that guy, man.
Yeah, he's hasn't been injured really. He's been coming out killing it every week. Probably the comeback player of the year this year. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say about this game, to be honest. The Ravens had that bad fumble Lamar did on the sack by Kayvon Thibodeau, the rookie. He got
I'm
a
just gonna
sack
say real
strip.
quick because I know Janine's gonna love it, but shout out to their GM because they have drafted pretty well this first year. Evan Neal, he played probably I think per saying he played one of his best games this game. Kayvon Thibodeau, those are the 2 first-round picks. He ended up getting the game-winning, basically fucking fumble, sack fumble. I think they even drafted this Bellinger, the tight end. I want to say they drafted him this year as well.
Yeah, don't forget about Wan'Dale Robinson. He finally had a game where he did pretty good.
Yeah, this is his first game he's played too. But it's just like that's what happens when you have a young GM and they know what they're doing. Like, drafts really well and they're finding ways to win with these guys. Like, that's just good coaching, good. It just looks like a sound organization now. You know what I mean? Like,
Which
you got the right piece.
before.
You got the GM now. You got the coach now. And it's now you're seeing it play out on the field. Like,
100%.
And I just think it's good coaching. Like, you're overcoming your weaknesses. Like, you're not gonna be probably winning the Super Bowl this season, but they're competitive in a rebuilding year, and that to me is positive as fuck. Because if this team can get better, maybe they're gonna go on to lose another 4 or 5 games. You never know, but.
Yeah.
If this team can continue to just be competitive in these games, if they're losing still, then that to me is positives to me because this team on paper isn't talented, but he's getting people to perform above their expectations, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So as long as they can keep it together, then that to me just looks positive for the future. And I think right now, everyone is excited for the Giants, and Giants fans are happy.
And not to discredit the Giants players themselves, they're doing great. But like I said, and like you've said already, I think this just revolves around Brian Daboll and just getting his team in the right mindset, keeping
just getting
them
the
going.
best of their players,
100%, and that's what you love to see in the NFL. Good game though. It was good. Another upset that we had. Nobody probably saw this one coming for sure. Like the other ones, you could have maybe made the
wait, real
argument.
quick,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Lamar also pooped his pants that game. Like
He
you can't
did.
do that.
Yeah.
He threw a pick. That ended up getting them ended up letting the Giants get the go-ahead running touchdown on fucking Zeke, or not Zeke, sorry, Saquon flying through the air. Looked like Superman. And then right after that, he follows it up with a fumble. Like,
Yep.
you just can't do that, Lamar.
Nope.
Especially when he's demanding for the big money. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
you gotta keep it going.
He's
You're
struggling.
going backwards now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, moving on.
Yeah, we moving on. We got the Bucks at the Steelers again.
I wasn't watching this game, but I was watching the scoreboard on the bottom, like, what the fuck, Tom Brady?
I don't know.
And I
man.
see on videos, the videos on Twitter, and he's like screaming at his O-line, and it's like, oh, like you really lost a family, came back just for losing to Kenny Pickett and the Steelers and Mitchell Trubisky, like that man is in shambles now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just the way it works, karma, like.
Yeah.
Because wow.
The Bucks O-line was just getting torched all game. So that's why Brady was like yelling at his offensive lineman like that. Like he was just under duress a lot of the time. Granted, the Steelers have a great defense. They're still missing TJ Watt. They're, like you said at the beginning of the show, like they were missing a shit ton in the secondary. Like they had a lot of injuries going into this game, and then to come out and still beat the Bucks, like just crazy. Trubisky came in, I think went like 8 for 11 or something, with a touchdown or something like that. He did pretty decent. Kenny Pickett went out with the undisclosed injury that we already talked about. The Bucks, man, we've said it all year. Like, I would have thought by now, like they got Chris Godwin back. You would have thought they would have got the ball rolling a little bit more, getting more back to that, putting 30, 35
with the amount of
points
injuries
up
out
the game.
with their in the secondary for the Steelers, I thought this was going to be like their coming up party. Like we're going to get the juices going. Like
exactly.
You got Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, like
you're starting to get healthy again.
Leonard Fournette. Like I thought this was going to be like we're going to put out like a 30 bomb.
Yep.
We're going to get it going. We're going to show everyone we're back. And it's like you put up 18.
Yeah, here they are not scoring 20 points. Like I don't know what's going on. They got stars all over the place on offense, right? Like you got Tom
even
Brady.
Defense.
Even defense. Well, their defense is doing good. I mean, you can't necessarily blame their defense. Like they gave up 20 points.
No,
you know
I'm not blaming the defense. I'm just saying offense and defense.
Yeah.
They're a talented team.
Yeah,
like they should be winning these fucking games.
They should be smoking these games. Yeah, there's no reason they should be 3-3. I don't know if it's a Brady.
I'm pretty sure this was both of our NFC favorites, wasn't it? The Bucks.
Yeah, definitely. We had them at the Super Bowl contender tier. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely with all the stars they have on the offensive side of the ball. Like you need to be putting up more than 18 points. And again, I don't know if it's the O-line, just Brady under too much stress. I don't know if it's what he's got going on outside of the field. But with those stars, man, and the greatest quarterback of all time at the helm, 18 points ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? Not against a Steelers defense that is just riddled with injuries. So just not a good game out of the Bucks. They're probably in a little bit of panic mode right now, sitting at 3-3, tied for first place against the Falcons. Like, which is crazy to say. But yeah, they need to figure it out. I know I said that I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons win the division. With that being said, I still think the Bucks will probably win the division. But with how they're playing right now, they're probably going to get first rounded in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, you want to hear this? Could you imagine this scenario, Nick? Right? So you remember last year, first round of the playoffs, Eagles get absolutely obliterated by Tom Brady and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Could you imagine this year? It's the same scenario, but the Eagles obliterate Tom Brady and the Bucks. Like, because right now it's looking likely. Yeah, the way they're playing, they're just not looking good. And again, still only 6 weeks into the season, got a long season ahead. They'll probably figure it out, but just not looking good at the moment.
I just want to say too, it's like Tom Brady, like he's going through this divorce. Like I don't understand, like what the fuck he's doing. Like Remember, like, the one press conference, the guy asked him or something, and he, like, snapped back, like, there's a lot fucking going on or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I get it. Like, now you're going for the fucking divorce. Like,
I just don't think
but,
he's
like,
fully there mentally, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's locked in because, like, he's going for this divorce. That's stressful as fuck. I don't care who you are. Like, I'm sure he's not a robot, and I'm sure he's not, like, one of these deadbeat dads. Like, I'm sure it sucks, like, you're not gonna be able to see your kids as much or
yeah.
whatever that situation ends up being. And then it's like, on top of it, he's playing arguably the worst football I've ever seen of him. And then, like, on top of it, he's not even fucking practicing. Like, he takes every Wednesday off. He went to Robert Kraft's fucking wedding. So it's like, are you actually locked the fuck in, or are you just fucking around? Like,
at this point,
I'm honestly asking, why the fuck did you come back?
That's what I was about to say. Like, at this point, like,
because
I know he's thinking, and we're all thinking,
I
why didn't
guarantee
you just
he's looking
stay
at himself in
retired?
the mirror and just thinking, I fucking regret this. Because why the fuck would you come back?
Yeah.
Like, honest to God, you look like
I
you look
think,
like a fucking Peyton Manning going out. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a wounded fucking animal. You're just dying out there.
I think
like,
what it boils down to is Tom Brady and how he is. He wants to cement his legacy because he's always had that chip on his shoulder.
Cement the legacy, motherfucker's got all the Super Bowls, bro. Like all the records. There's nothing to fucking cement.
I know,
like,
but listen,
he's tarnishing his legacy at this point.
I know. Listen, he wants to cement his legacy, right? I know it's already pretty much been cemented. It's already in the ground. The cement is dried. Like, it's been cemented already. But in his mind,
they put fucking condos on that shit.
In his mind, he's thinking, I want to cement my legacy. I want to fucking
50-foot fucking condominium went up in there.
I want to go out on top. I want to win a Super Bowl and go out. So he thought that this was going to be an easy NFC year. So he was like, this is a free ride to the Super Bowl. Me in the Super Bowl, I always figure out a way to win. So I'll win again and I'll retire on stage at the Super Bowl, right? That's probably what he pictured in his mind. But he probably also didn't picture that when he told his wife that he was going to fucking play another year after saying he was retired, that his wife was going to fucking... Yeah, that his wife was going to stop doing the black magic. His wife was going to fucking divorce him. Like, I don't think he expected this shit. So looking at it now, he's probably like, well, fuck. I'm playing terrible. The team's playing terrible. I probably should have just stayed retired. I'd still be married. Wouldn't have to deal with all this shit. And I still wouldn't be getting talked about like this. Like, he's probably regretting his decision right now. 100%. Like,
I don't understand. If he's not regretting it, then he has like no emotion at all. Like, he's just a robot. There's no way you can't regret it.
Yeah, if he's not regretting it, it just boils down to the fact that he knows something we don't, and he thinks he's going to be completely fine, and they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. Like, that's the, or like you said, he's just a fucking robot and has no emotions. Because I don't get it at this point. Because if
I lost my fucking wife, my kids, and everything,
and I'm sitting at 3-3.
This literally reminds me of the fucking, I don't know if you ever watched like the Marvel movies.
Some of them.
But you know, like the Thanos meme, and it's like, what did it cost? And it's like everything. He literally gave up everything to come back, basically, and he's playing like shit.
I think it would be different too if they're sitting at 6-0. But the fact you're sitting at 3-3 and you lost everything, like, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the biggest thing to me too. Is like, he's the biggest laughing stock on the internet now because of like his family getting divorced, and it's like, what the fuck did you like leave them for, you fucking loser? Like, 3-3, like, was it worth it? Like, it's not.
100%.
And it's like, if they have like an awful season, it's gonna be forever talked about as why the fuck did he come back?
Yeah. And then it might turn into him playing another year just to fucking shut people up about this year, and it might be even worse. You know what I mean?
It just
like,
double downs. It gets worse.
Yeah. So I don't know. He needs to figure it the fuck out.
I'll tell you, Tom. Don't do it. Double down in betting is not good.
No, yeah, you did it last night.
Brother, I did it in the Alabama game. Nope, didn't happen. Did it back in the
Chiefs game.
The Chiefs game, it didn't happen. Like, double down is never gonna work. It just doesn't.
Triple down on the fucking Jalen Hurts over 240 passing yards didn't work.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one.
I'm not. Next, we got the Panthers and the Rams. I'm not going to say much about this game.
Both teams are terrible. I don't even care.
I know it's 24-10, but they both suck.
Next,
we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Seahawks, again.
It was a slow game. Honestly, Geno's been playing really well, but it wasn't his best game.
It wasn't, but he did what needed to be done. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a bad game. It was just a slow one.
No, 100%. I will say, I got to keep doing it. And shout out my boy Kenneth Walker, man. I'll never not speak highly of him. Like, I'm sorry. That dude's going to be a fucking force to be reckoned with.
Did Call of Duty come out this weekend or something?
No, I think it comes out in 2 weeks.
Because I know there's a stat up there being updated every time. Like, there's a Call of Duty double XP, and he's like, oh, win something.
Dude, did you see the memes?
Because
the memes that the Seahawks put out?
No, what was it?
So it was there's a picture of Cliff Kingsbury. Sorry,
it's on Twitter.
I think so. There's a picture of Cliff Kingsbury sitting in his house during a draft with like a computer screen up. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, that nice ass house he has.
Yeah, well they photoshopped the Seattle skyline in the window. They photoshopped Pete Carroll's head on Cliff Kingsbury's body. On the computer screen, they put up a picture of Kyler Murray wearing that ugly-ass green fucking suit that he wore a couple weeks ago. And then on the other screen, they photoshopped Call of Duty double XP on the fucking screen. And they tweeted it after the fucking dub, bro. Talk about some fucking social media fucking greatness out of there, bro. Like, that was beautiful.
There's no way.
You have to find it, bro. It's so hilarious.
Oh my god, that sounds too good to be true.
It's so good, bro. I saw that shit. Yeah. Look at it, bro.
Oh
Zoom in on the
God.
screens too. Like, this shit is just comedy. Oh my god.
Oh wait, they even put an L in the cloud.
Yeah, they put an L in the cloud. I forgot about the fucking cloud. Yeah, they put an L in the fucking cloud too, dude. Just crazy.
That is
fucking
so
hilarious.
Comedy.
But yeah, I mean,
double XP weekend.
Again and again, Nick, this team is just different without DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know why. You wouldn't think they would be, but I swear to God they are. And we'll find out this week. Maybe they just suck, and I'm just saying this every week just to bring up my boy Hopkins, but we'll find out this week when Hopkins comes back against the Saints. But Seahawks... I
clicked on the image description. It says a portrait of Pete Carroll's mansion.
That's funny as hell.
That's comedy.
Seahawks are playing good football though.
Did you watch this game?
The Seahawks game?
Because all I'm gonna say is I look here and I see Kyler Murray 10 rushing yards, 10 rushes, 100 yards.
He was running all over the place.
15 attempts, 37 yards.
Yeah.
Like their running backs just suck. They don't get them going. Like
I think it's their O-line just fucking sucks. That's why Kyler Murray's running all over the place because he's got no time.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's like
fucking Cardinals, man.
Kyler Murray's a little fucking toddler running away with the iPad.
Oh, I saw that. He fucking fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen because the way he holds the fucking ball is terrible.
If I was a Cardinals fan, I'd literally hate to be a Cardinals fan because last year they started out 8-0, and then went like 1-7, and then this year they're 2-4. And it's like,
they said, fuck it, this year we're going to shit the bed the whole year.
Yeah, like, what are we doing, boys? Because this ain't it. Like, you got studs. You got a pretty good coach. Like, y'all need to figure it out. I was going to
say this, too. It's even more amplified when you fucking gave him a big contract.
Yep.
And now you're looking, like, terrible. Like,
see, and I don't even know if Kyler's playing, like, that bad. Like, I don't know.
At the end of the day, you're not winning games, though. Who gives a shit?
No, yeah, exactly. I don't think
it's the same thing with Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
you can be as talented as all fuck and you're still losing games. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. But Seahawks figured it out. They're 3-3, sitting pretty good. Hold on.
Like
they're tied for first place?
Like 9 points.
Yeah, 9 point thing. I'll cut it.
Like 9
no touchdowns? Come on, man. Yeah, Seahawks are tied for first place with the 49ers, and the Rams. So Seahawks looking good. I think they got a really good running back, Marshawn Lynch 2.0.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, Nick, you're going to get tired of it. I'm going to fanboy over this guy. I don't know what it is. Anyways.
The best game on Sunday.
I was hoping for a little bit more high scoring, but it was still a good game. Bills at the Chiefs.
All because of Tony Romo. He said it was 24-20. It ended up being
24-20.
You got that script?
I did. Oh, NFL scripted question mark? Is that the new title this week? Bills 24 at the Chiefs 20, which was a good game.
Who would have
Chiefs had
thought
a
the Bills
chance.
and the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC? Wow.
Yeah, right.
Took a real expert to figure that out.
The Chiefs had a chance with what, a minute and a half left.
I think it was like a minute, like
Yeah,
20
Patrick
seconds like that.
Mahomes made a bad read, threw a pick. Defender made a good play on the ball, intercepted it, fucking iced the game.
Motherfucker threw it into double coverage basically and said, "Here you
Yeah,
go."
basically double coverage.
Like,
The defender came from behind
I
the
know
guy.
he was under pressure, but man, like at that
Yeah.
point, just throw it away. Like you see the guys there, like
Yeah, no, 100%.
no shot.
But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see them play again because I'm sure they'll play again in the playoffs or something. Maybe not, but I mean, 2 losses for the Chiefs. That's tough.
One
I
loss
mean,
to
they'll
the
be
Bills.
fine.
Wonder who
But
did that?
yeah, right. Who did that?
I don't know.
Dolphins.
Feels like
did that?
ancient history at this point.
Oh shit, that's funny as hell. But overall, good game.
That's back in the history books. You
yeah,
don't even
right.
talk about that anymore.
I was a little worried at the beginning of this game because the Bills fucking fumbled the ball like the first drive and gave the ball back to the Chiefs, and I was like, well, there goes that game because you know
But
it is.
it resulted in 0 points.
The Chiefs are that type of team like the Patriots with Tom Brady back in the day. Like you can't give them any extra opportunities. Well, then the Chiefs drive down the field. Patrick Mahomes throws a fucking pick in the end zone, like, and I'm like, well, game started back 0-0. Like
That was a 4th down too, I think, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. They went for it.
I think they went for it, so it didn't. I would say honestly, it didn't really matter anyway because it wasn't.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
You didn't get the points, whatever.
Yeah.
Game was the drive was over anyway if you didn't score. So
100%. But pretty good game. Can't wait to see them play again.
a couple
'cause they
of
probably will.
times you went for it too, because even the Bills went for it, they didn't get it.
Yeah, they were going for it, kind of all over the place.
They're being
both
aggressive.
teams.
I like it because when you're playing these type of teams, like you have to be aggressive.
Yeah, you have to try to steal possessions from them. That's the only
That's
way.
why when like I used to watch like the Dolphins play, like the Patriots or like the Bills when their Bills have like started getting good, I'm like, you got to go for them 4th down.
yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck. Like you
100%.
have to because these teams are too good. You're not going to be able to score with them. Like
Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, MVPs right there.
Yeah, definitely the two.
There's
leading
just
the
no
race.
way. Like no one else compares to them right
Nah,
now.
no one. Next we got the primetime game Sunday night. We got the Cowboys at the Eagles. Eagles remain undefeated. Take it 26-17. This game started out very lopsided. It was they scored 2 touchdowns and then they got a pick and then got a field goal off of it and then got another pick, I think it was, and then got another field goal off that. I really would have liked to see the Eagles put the pressure on a little bit more, which is something I don't know what it is, but like the Eagles are the best second quarter team in football. They come out in the second quarter, put up hella points, but then it seems like in the third and in the fourth quarter they coast, and it's like I don't know if that's necessarily the good thing. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. I don't know what it is, but if you want to remain undefeated and be at the top of the league and have a potential like, I feel like the biggest knock for the Eagles right now would be to keep the foot on the gas pedal. Because the Cowboys tried to make a comeback here and it got a little sketchy. But with that being said, at the same time, it seems like every week the Eagles get the ball in the early fourth quarter, late fourth quarter. They'll drive down the field, take up about 8 to 10 minutes of the fucking quarter, score a touchdown, and then it ices the game. So it's like, that's what makes me think, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. I don't know what's going on. But that's like my biggest, like, I guess, downfall with them right now would just be to keep the foot on the gas pedal. The Eagles game planned this game really well. They took Micah Parsons out of the fucking picture. That guy was irrelevant all game.
Except for when they fucking left him unblocked.
Yeah, well, no, that was their plan. They fucking were leaving him unblocked the whole game. They were literally just reading him on the read option and the RPOs and shit like that. But I do know what play you're talking about. Yeah, that wasn't good. But the Eagles played a good game all in all. Their defense, I think, is really good. I know it's Cooper Rush on the other side of the ball. But at the same time, the Cowboys fans, bro, like, they were coming in this whole time talking about, we're going to smoke the Eagles are pretenders, yada, yada, yada. And then when the Eagles win, the Cowboys fans want to then come out and say, well, y'all beat a backup quarterback. And it's like, you weren't saying any of that shit before the Eagles beat y'all. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go back on what you're saying and then try to backpedal and be like, oh, it's just a backup quarterback you beat. It's nothing special. Yada yada yada. But
The way this game played out, if Dak was playing, I wouldn't be surprised they would have won.
I wouldn't be
Honestly.
surprised either. But I think that changes the whole
Like,
the dynamic
Cooper
of the
Rush
game a
threw
little bit
fucking
too.
3 interceptions. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
100%.
you ain't gonna win when you throw that many interceptions.
Yeah, no, you're not. And that's what I'm saying. Like the Eagles, they need to keep the pressure.
I want to
on.
see. The biggest thing is like we looked at their schedule last week and like honestly like we weren't surprised that they go undefeated, but honestly like I want to see this team play someone good. Like
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is I want to see them play someone good.
Well, it looks like the only teams we're gonna get that's gonna be good is because I looked at it again yesterday.
The Cowboys again.
The Cowboys again. The Giants, they still got to play twice. They end up playing the Packers, but I don't know if we're calling the Packers good right now. I think they play the Saints.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, no, they definitely
losable,
have.
but
they
should
definitely
be
have
winning
one
those
of the
games, so it's
easiest schedules in the league, so that definitely helps with their.
I mean, statistically, it literally is the easiest schedule.
Yeah, so that definitely helps with their record right now. But with that being said, they handed the Vikings their only loss.
I want to see them play a good team, though. You know what I mean?
100%. No, I agree. We both said that last week. I still agree with that. But they handed the Vikings their only loss.
It's so hard to gauge
what I mean? That's
how
a good
good
team.
they are.
But yeah, they haven't had a big competition.
You're playing
yet.
this Mickey Mouse cakewalk schedule, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. They have a bye week this week, and then I think they come back and play the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they come back. They have a bye week and then they play the Steelers.
The thing I'm worried about with the Eagles is that like the way they're playing these games, like have we talked about, like they play them a little bit slow. So it's like to me, you might see one of those games where they're playing one of these teams really slow, and like that team ends up beating them. You know what I mean? Like they just take it too slow.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then the other team ends up capitalizing on a mistake or something. Because like you said, like their biggest thing is like they drive down in the last quarter and like basically put up a touchdown to make the game over with no time left. And it's like, what happens if you fumble? You throw a pick. You know what I mean? And boom, that team capitalizes on it.
100%.
Or like they take one of those like teams like too easy and like boom, they surprise them. You know what I mean?
And
that Giants team ain't no fucking
they're not gonna give up.
Cakewalk. Like I think the Giants could honestly beat them if they were to lose one of these teams. Like
100%. And I'm sure the Eagles staff is probably looking at the same things we're looking at, and they're probably like, okay, we need to figure this out. We need to keep the pressure on. Like, we're definitely have some moments here where we're slow. So I think hopefully with the bye week, they get that straightened out a bit, and maybe we see a not that they need to redefine themselves, but like a little more redefined Eagles team. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. But like you said, definitely a lot of people out there, and I mean, we're even saying it, like, I would like to see them play a little bit better teams to get a true judge on how good they are. I still think they're one of the top teams all around in the league right now. But a little more competition would help for sure. And we might see that when they play the Cowboys with Dak back. We'll probably see it with the Giants. Those are two pretty good competitive teams, so we'll see. But tonight we got Broncos and the Chargers. Oh my God, Nick! We have another AFC West. We have another AFC West
fucking get
shootout
these Broncos off my fucking TV
on prime time. Not only that, bro, the AFC West has literally been controlling every primetime game this year. It seems like it's crazy. I don't know. Chargers smoked the fucking Broncos all day.
I'm so over it, man.
Yeah. Russell Wilson comes out, looks like shit again. Chargers win by fucking 20. Got anything else on them?
I don't think it's going to be like that, but I think it's going to probably be... Honestly, I would not be surprised if this is like a 10-10 game. Like,
don't say that, bro. Just don't say that.
I'm telling you, every time I feel like we get hyped up for a game, and it's like, oh, like Russell Wilson versus Justin Herbert is gonna come down to like a 12-10 type game, like super dumb, just super trolly. Like, you think it's gonna be fireworks and ends up being fucking sparkles?
I don't think it's gonna be fireworks. I think the fucking Broncos just suck, and the Chargers will put up 21 points. I think
both teams suck, honestly. Like,
that's true.
And I don't know. I think Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, aren't they hurt?
Yeah, I think so. So
yeah, there you go.
I don't fucking know, man. I'm just tired of looking at the Broncos logo on a primetime game. What are these primetime games? Bears at Patriots next Monday? Ew. Steelers, Dolphins, Sunday night? We like that.
Wait, so is he on IR? How do you check IR?
Who?
Joey Bosa, is he on IR?
Oh, I don't know.
Joey Bosa injury.
Just look up the.
Oh, yeah, he is IR. Yeah,
Is
he's
he
on
IR? Okay, yeah.
And then who else is it?
Khalil Mack. I think Khalil Mack's fine. I don't know though.
I don't say he's placed on IR, but it was 2021.
Yikes.
Yeah, so he looks like he's fine. So Khalil Mack is good then. Okay. So looking at for the Monday night game, looking at the injury report, Keenan Allen hamstring, he is doubtful. Justin Herbert ribs, game status unspecified. That's good. Dustin Hopkins, their kicker, unspecified. Zion Johnson ankle, unspecified. Is that even legal? Like, what the fuck is this? Unspecified. Josh Palmer, unspecified. Cal Van Noy, unspecified. Corey Lindsey, unspecified. Like, Jesus.
They're missing everybody.
Russell Wilson has a right shoulder.
Fuck that guy.
Who else is on here? I don't even recognize these names. Quinn Mears, their guard, questionable. That'd be huge because their O-line's already banged up.
Yeah.
With their, Garrett Bowles, their left tackle, he's out for the year, right?
Yeah.
Billy Turner, another offensive lineman, he's questionable. I'm not sure if he's a starter, though. Melvin Gordon, questionable. I wanted to start him, honestly, but I don't think he's going to play. Probably play tonight with a neck and rib injury. He might play, I don't know. But I wanted to start him at my flex. But, yeah.
All right, moving on. Oh, real quick before we get into the predictions for Week 7, two things. First off, I'm only 4 games behind Nick. We're on the come up. We're bringing it back. I was like 8 games behind at one point, so we're back.
You dog shit.
Fuck you. Second thing, shout out to the motherfucking Houston Astros on to the next series in the MLB playoffs, baby.
We don't talk about baseball here. Move on.
No, I'm shouting them out. It's my team, bro.
Just kidding.
Another thing, tonight we also have the Guardians and the Yankees playing Game 5 of the series they're in right now. What is it, the fucking division series? I always get those confused.
Yes.
Yeah, the
American League
ALDS
division series.
Yeah, ALDS, Yankees, Guardians come on in an hour, so that should be a good game, hopefully. I'll probably watch that just as much as I watch this ugly-ass Chargers game against the fucking ugly-ass Broncos. Anyways, Week 7 predictions. I need a big week out of me here.
Need you to hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Week 7, buys real quick. Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams, Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles. So we will again be short. That is 2 games. 1.
Unfortunate.
Yep, 2. All right, moving on.
Thursday night, Prime Video, Saints at Cardinals. Hopefully more scoring. I don't know. Cardinals put up 9 last week. D-Hop's back, though, so they're putting up 40. Anyways, who you got, Nick? Saints at Cardinals?
Tie. I'm going to go Cardinals. Fuck it. You said D-Hop's back?
I'm going Cardinals because I've been preaching D-Hop's back. It's going to be a different team.
I think D-Hop brings life to this team.
Hopefully, because they need it.
If not, then Cardinals are off the list. They're done.
Yeah. 2-5 would not be a good look.
Browns at Ravens.
I keep picking the fucking Ravens, man, and they just keep upsetting me. But I'm going Ravens again.
Man. There's just no way he'd be, 4 weeks in a row they blow a game? There's no way, right?
No way, right? No way.
I'm going to go Ravens, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns win this because it is a division game.
Yeah, no, 100%. Bucks at the Panthers. I'm taking the in shambles Bucks.
Oh, man. Man. Yeah, you got to go Bucks, man.
Next one, we got Falcons at the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals.
I'll join you with that. Bengals at home.
All right. We got Lions at the Cowboys. Lions coming off a bye week. Dak Prescott is back. Cowboys 4-2. I'm taking the Cowboys.
I honestly thought he might have taken the Lions.
I thought about it a lot for about
I'm gonna
4
go
seconds.
Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott coming back, they get it done.
All right, next we got Giants at Jaguars. Who you got?
Come on, Giants. I think I've
riding
been the most
Giants.
supporter
Yeah.
out of both of us because
Yeah.
I've taken them.
This one's tough for me because I want to take the Giants, but I think the Jags come out and give Giants their second loss. I'm taking the Jags.
Colts at Titans.
Titans win this. Derrick Henry's that fucking guy.
I'm gonna go Colts.
All right.
Fuck it.
All right, we got Packers at the Commanders. I'm taking Packers. No way the Packers lose 3 in a row.
Tyler Heineke. I don't know, man.
Oh, shit. We about to disagree on 3 in a row? Is this the week I make the comeback?
Nah, I'm gonna go Packers. There's just no way.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, we got the
Jets at Broncos.
4-2 Jets at the 2-3 Broncos. Probably 2-4 Broncos. I'm taking the Jets. Rode the Jets on the upset this week. I'm riding them again. Jets Jets. Who you got?
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking like this. I think the Jets have a good run game. That's how they're gonna try and keep winning, right? Just keep pounding that ball. Therefore, the Broncos have a good defense.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably try and shut that down. That's gonna be their game plan.
So it's going to come down to quarterback play.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
Okay.
I think they shut down the Jets' run game and force Zach Wilson to make some plays with his arm, and he throws a pick here and there.
Okay.
That's my
I like the assessment. That's not a bad assessment. So far we've disagreed on the Jags game, the Titans game, the Packers, and this game.
No,
not the
just
Packers,
the Jets.
but
The Jets
game. Yeah.
We're at 3 right now. Texans at Raiders.
Raiders win
I'm
this.
going Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm going Raiders. I think they're better than their record's been.
Yeah. All right. Next, we got Seahawks at the Chargers. I'm taking the Seahawks with the run game against the Chargers. That's an upset. I'm going all over the place this week. Oh, shit. This could be good or bad. I'm either going to take the lead from you. I'm either going to take the lead from you or I'm going to be down fucking 9 games now this week. Next, we got the Chiefs at the 49ers. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Chiefs. All day.
Yep. Next, we got Steelers at the Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Tua's back, baby. Win column.
Next, we got the Bears at the Patriots. I'm picking the Patriots. That hurt.
I'm going to go Patriots as well.
All right.
Bailey Zapp is that guy, I guess.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Bailey Zapp for MVP.
I think Patriot fans already turned their back on.
Mac Jones?
Yeah.
I think so, too.
They gave up on that train. They said,
fuck.
no, we don't need you, white boy.
I mean, truthfully, they haven't done anything different. It's like you got the same quarterback.
That run game's just come to life with, what's his name?
Is it Zapp or Zappy? I think it's Zappy.
I thought it was Zapp.
I don't fucking know.
Maybe it is Zappy.
All right, that's going to wrap up Week 7 predictions. I think that's all I got for this week. Nick, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. Good to close it out.
Yep. Well, hopefully this is a good week for me. I'll make the comeback on Nick and take the lead on the predictions. This is our predictions
Hopefully it's
right
a good
here.
week for the Dolphins, man. My lord.
This is our predictions right here if you want to pause it and look at it for Week 7. But with that being said, we appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Please pray for me that Tua finishes the game and we don't have to go to another quarterback.
Please pray for Nick, too, that he can hit a fucking bet this weekend, because Lord knows he didn't hit one this weekend.
That was awful.
Yeah, bad week of betting for your boy Nick, but comes with the territory, right?
Well, that's gambling, folks. Don't gamble.
Yep. Unless you just are a degenerate like Nick, but hey, fuck it, right? Again,
That is fucked up.
I'm playing. I'm fucking with you, bro. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will catch y'all next week. Episode will be live tomorrow.
7:30 Eastern time.
6:30 Central time. What's up? All right, yeah. Y'all have a good
Actually,
one.
7. Sorry, 7 Eastern time.
Yeah, okay. Y'all have a good one. Let's hope for a good week of football. Week 7 coming up. Y'all have a good
Enjoy
one.
the what is it, Broncos-Chargers game?
Broncos-Chargers game? Yeah. Don't forget about that.
Or go watch baseball instead.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Whichever you prefer. Or play Madden, MLB The Show, whatever you want.
Go watch a movie. Might be better than the game.
Take your girl out for dinner. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.